Brian, so just a quick recap of what we did today over Skype, which is pretty cool. We're talking about Parisian walkways again. So the only thing I really want to talk about here is because we pretty much have it down now. You know, the melody, all of that stuff. Okay, so that's just a case of play it again, play it again, and remember, just listen to the difference between what you're doing and what Gary Moore is doing. Okay, now obviously, he's Gary Moore, so he's gonna have really good gear, beautiful amps and all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about that. Worry about the way it's being played, okay? So because you're both playing the same notes, but the difference is the bend where he brings it up nice and quick, no drag on it, not like that, okay? So he's going straight up and putting a bit of vibrato on it, okay? Little things like that, is he going? Is he maybe sliding up to some of those notes? So he's not just going, not just doing that. He's going. Okay, little things like that, okay? Vibrato, slides, bends, you know, picking a note. Instead of just picking like that, you can sort of mute it with these fingers and hit it like that just to get a bit of extra kind of grit into it or whatever you want to say. Okay, so there's that. Then there was the minor 7 flat 5 chord, okay? The B minor 7 flat 5, okay? So that's, you're coming at that from the F major 7. First finger goes up here, little finger comes in there on the 3rd fret of the B string. So we were talking about the E string. Now, so the E string is a bit awkward to get because you can't have it on the 2nd fret because it's the 5th. So there's B minor, there's B minor 7, and the 5th note is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 5th. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Or another way you could say it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now remember, we were saying 8 is the same note as 1. So what we can pretty much do is just call this 1, and then we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's another 5th. So if we're flattening the 5th, that one's got to go back as well, which makes the chord a lot more awkward because now we have to hold this one down here and then bring the first finger back there. So you've got those two, and then the rest of the chord goes in. Yeah, so there we go. Now, if you're holding the chord down like that, then you can hit whatever strings you want, right? It's just that if you're leaving it open, see that? Open there instead of having it down. Now with B, that sounds just fine, right? But the problem is where you take it elsewhere, it might not work. So if we go up to C, let's say, see that open E string doesn't work there. But if you've got this down here, then you've got the whole chord. Okay, so remember, it's a difficult chord, but just go from one to the next. Okay, back again and again. And you don't have to pick through it, just hit it once just to make sure you're getting it right. Boom, 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 back forward, loads of times, and then it's just muscle memory. So then it's not going to hold you up anymore. It's just going to be another chord then. All right, moving on. So then we started talking about Come As You Are, and talking about how this is actually a bass riff, okay? A lot of people do it up here. Excuse me. But that changes the key, right? Because this, the top note here, that's the key note, and that is D, D sharp, E. The song is in the key of E minor, so it's got to be here, right? If we do it up here, E, no E sharp, so F, F sharp. Now we're playing it in a different key. We've brought it up a bit, even though we're playing it lower, right? So we've got that riff there. The riff is what it is. It's a good riff. See the picking as well? Down, up. Okay, so then the chorus is E sus4, which is just A major up a string, G. then the bit where he's saying, I don't have a gun, is A, C. So let's talk about, so we're talking power chords. So let's talk power chord for a second. So with Smells Like Teen Spirit, we've got the F1 here, first fret. Now the difficult thing about power chords is, right, is making sure that you don't hear the strings that you don't want to hear, right? So in this case, we want to hear the bottom three strings, bottom in terms of pitch, okay, the lower sounding strings, okay? But we don't want this. We don't want them open. But on the other hand, we don't want that either, right? So that's an F minor chord there. That's a bar chord, not a power chord, right? So what we want is this. Okay? So that's the trick. It's making sure you are hearing the notes you want to hear, but not hearing the notes that you don't want, okay? So you don't want to leave them open, but you don't want to press them down too hard either, because then you'll hear them as well. So what you want is just to be lying that first finger across them like that, nice and gentle. So you're putting pressure here on the tip, but then the rest of it just kind of sits on the strings to take them out of the equation. Now, next, if the bar chord, or the power chord I should say, is starting from the A string like it is here, then what you want is this. Okay, now we want to get rid of the E string. So one way you can do that is use your first finger to hold down the A string, but block, well, it's not really blocked, is it? So, kind of works, kind of doesn't. But a better way to do it is get that middle finger and just lay it down on it. So obviously what you don't want is pressure. You don't want to get a note there. You just want to take it out, okay? And then once you get the hang of that, just move them around, you know? So let's say, so one example we did was 4th fret on the A string. And remember now, you don't want to hear that one. Or these two, okay? Up a string and up a fret, down a string and up 2 frets, then up a string. So one more time. Now, I'm starting this on the 4th fret, but you could just as easily start it anywhere, okay? You could bring it up here, let's say. Okay, that's just one, but, you know, move them around wherever you like. Okay, so this has gone on a little bit long now, but one more thing. You were asking me about don't or can't stop, right? So, nice, simple. So this is real pentatonic stuff, okay? So, the scale. So remember, so I don't want to just say, you know, here's the notes in it, here's how you play it, right? Because you don't really get anything out of that. So, pentatonic scale, starting on the 12th fret, up by 3, up by 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay? Now, I'm not sure. It sounds like a unison, Ben, but I don't think it... listening to it again, I don't think it is. Now, you can do it if you want. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can just get that one... You know, they're fun to do, so why not? But yeah, so the notes are... So remember, it all comes from the pentatonic. So we've got the bent note, 15th fret on the B string going up to the 17th. That's your first note. Bring it back down. That's your second note. Then to the bottom note on that string, which is the 12th fret. Then 12th fret on the next string. Okay, and then he kind of repeats it while what's his name? Anthony Kiedis. When he starts singing again, he does pretty much the same thing. Couple of variations though, so I'll let you figure that out, okay? So you got the basic one down, but he kind of changes some of the notes in at the second time he does it. See if you can figure it out, because it's important to use your ear as well. Okay, that's more than enough. I'll see you next time.